Okay. Today's topic is related to velocity distribution with more than one variable, more than one independent variable. Yeah, matlab, can anyone tell what's the meaning of this velocity distribution with more than one independent variable? चलो मैं समझाने का मतलब ਇਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ let's consider a flat surface. दो flat surfaces हैं, parallel plates हैं, ठीक है, in the xy plane, and that's the x, this is the y plane. Both the plates are at rest, that is at time t test less than equal to 0. Both the surfaces are at rest. Clear? Now when at time t equal to 0, what happens is the lower plate is set into motion in this direction with the velocity v. The lower plate moves in the positive x direction with the velocity v. Now what will happen when the lower plate moves in the velocity direction? Initially, if you see, if the difference is whatever the difference is, y, initially this layer will move slowly, this layer will move slowly until unless a steady state is reached. There will be a formation of this thing, these layers. So what we have derived previously is purely on the basis of steady state, that what is the velocity profile between the parallel plates under steady state condition. And if you remember, it depends upon the difference of this thing, that is it depends upon the thickness of the difference of the plate, that is y. And it was purely, you know, a one dimension kind of a flow. But now what we are studying is velocity distribution with more than one independent variable. That means what we are studying is, we are studying this phenomena, that what is happening before the velocity moves towards the steady state, that is the transient part. We are studying the transient part, that is the unsteady state part. So today's topic is related to the unsteady state part. Now in this example, both the surfaces are at stationary, that is this condition is there, that is t equal to less than equal to 0. We are saying less than equal to 0 means before you produce any disturbance, what was the actual condition of the system? The actual condition of the system is both the plates are at stationary, are at rest. There is no movement, nothing happening. So that is t less than equal to 0. At t equal to 0, the lower plate moves in the positive x direction. So now, when the lower plate moves in the positive x direction, that means the velocity before it reaches the steady state will be a function of y and will be a function of time t. So we'll be deriving this expression where velocity of the fluid which is flowing before it reaches steady state, what is the expression of that velocity? That is velocity distribution with more than one independent variable. Initially under steady state, this time term, it vanishes, but before steady state, it is the velocity is a function of the difference of the plates, that is the y, and it's dependent upon function of time also. So we'll be deriving this thing. Also, there is no pressure gradient. Remember, there is no pressure gradient and gravity force acting in the positive x direction. There is no pressure gradient and no gravity force that is acting. So it's purely under the influence of the force which is acting on the lower plate. That is, it's moving in this direction. Now, also, we assume that the flow is laminar. That is, there is no intermixing of the layers when the fluid is moving. So the flow is purely laminar. Also, you can remember that the velocity component in y direction and velocity component in z direction is 0. So we have Vx, which is purely a function of y and t. So we'll be deriving this expression of Vx. Now for this, let's write down the equation of continuity for the Cartesian system. Let me bring the equation of continuity. हाँ जी बेटा.
सर वो t लेस देन 0 और t इक्वल.
हाँ बोल.
सर वो स्क्रीन चली गई. सर ये आपने फिर यस सर t लेस देन 0 और t इक्वल टू 0 बोथ आर रेस्ट. सर ये क्या लिखा है आपने?
t लेस देन इक्वल टू 0 मींस डिस्टरबेंस देने से पहले सिस्टम कैसा था.
ओके.
both plates are at rest.
ओके सर.
जब तूने लोअर प्लेट को पॉजिटिव एक्स डायरेक्शन में मूव किया उस टाइम पे टाइम क्या था t इक्वल टू 0.
यस.
ठीक है. और जब तक स्टेडी स्टेट नहीं आता उससे पहले जो भी वेलोसिटी प्रोफाइल है हमने वो डिटरमिन कर दिया.
ओके सर. और
वो वेलोसिटी प्रोफाइल विल बी अ फंक्शन ऑफ two independent variables, that is this difference, that is y, and the time t. Okay. Now for this we're going to write the equation of continuity for the Cartesian system, that is del rho by del t plus del by del x of rho vx plus del by del y of rho vy plus del by del z of rho vz. We start with equation of continuity. Now the given conditions are that Vy and Vz are 0. So Vz, Vy both terms are 0. Also the density of the fluid, let's assume to be constant. Density of the fluid is constant, that is it's not changing with any factor. So this is 0. So what is left is del by del x of rho Vx is 0. That is del Vx by del x is 0. That's your equation number 1. Clear? Now we're going to write equation of motion. Let's write the equation of motion. Equation of motion for the Cartesian system. Pick up this thing. Now we have the equation of motion for the Cartesian system. Since the velocity in y direction and velocity in z direction are 0, so let's only deal with the what is happening is with the your x direction, because these two components are already 0, so there won't be any term of them. So let's only deal with the velocity in the x component. So let's write down this equation: rho del vx by del t plus vx del vx by del x plus vy del vx by del y plus vz del vx by del z equal to minus del p by del x plus mu del square vx by del x square del square vx by del y vx by del z square plus. So this is the x component of equation of motion. Now let's cut down what is given. This will be there because we are saying that velocity is a function of t, so this term will be 0 because we are not considering any steady state condition. Further, according to equation number 1, del vx by del x is 0, so this goes. Vy is 0, vz is 0, there is no pressure term occurring. Now vx, first derivative of vx with respect to x is 0, so obviously the second derivative will also be 0. Second, del square vx by del y square. Now we say that vx is a function of y, so obviously this term will be there. Secondly, vx is a function of y only, so with respect to z it will be 0, and there is no gravity effect. So what is finally left is with us is rho del vx by del t is equal to mu del square vx by del y square. Any problem so far?
सर vx is a function of y, तो सर del v by del y 0 कैसे हुआ?
कौन सा?
रो के साथ में जो है
यहाँ पे y नहीं है, vy,
ओ अच्छा
vy से मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा है ना.
यस सर
So finally we have del vx by del t mu by rho as del square vx by del y square, or this can also be written as del vx by del t equal to this what is called, this is as kinematic viscosity mu. So let's name it as equation number 2, where mu is mu by rho. Clear? Now let me define the conditions over here in order to solve equation number 2. The conditions. Now the conditions which appear for this particular equation, they are called as initial and boundary conditions. Initial conditions and boundary conditions. Now initial condition will be at t less than 0. At t less than 0, what was the condition? Before the disturbance was felt, what was the condition? Both the plates were stationary. So Vx is 0 for all values of y. Clear? Then we have boundary condition. First, at y equal to 0, that is when the lower plate is moving, its Vx is equal to V for all values of t greater than or equal to 0. Yes or no? And boundary condition 2, at y equal to let's say infinity. Okay, what we do is when I'm saying infinity, let's say that there is the upper plate is quite at a infinite distance from the lower plate. The distance between is quite infinite. So at y equal to infinite, that is the upper plate is quite far away. At y equal to infinite, the upper plate or the topmost layer of the fluid is having a velocity 0 for all values of this thing, for all values of t greater than 0. So these are the initial and boundary condition to solve your equation number 2. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Now in order to solve
एक चीज पूछनी थी मेरे को
हाँ बोल
जो
बच्चा.
हमने y इक्वल टू इन्फिनिटी हमने अज्यूम करा है कि एक बार 0 पे क्या होगा और फिर इन्फिनिटी पे जाएंगे तो क्या होगा
बेटा ये देखना, सिंपल खुद देख, ये देख बाउंड्री कंडीशन, इनिशियल कंडीशन तो पता है कि जब टाइम बिफोर डिस्टर्बेंस बोथ द थिंग्स वर एट स्टेशनरी, दैट वाज द इनिशियल कंडीशन.
यस
जब t इक्वल टू 0 पे लोअर प्लेट पे तूने मूव किया तो दो बाउंड्री कंडीशन आ गई ना. एक बाउंड्री कंडीशन होगी इस पॉइंट पे, दैट द लोअर प्लेट इज मूविंग,
और एक होगी ऊपर वाले पे.
दूसरी बाउंड्री कंडीशन यहाँ पे आएगी जो टॉप मोस्ट लेयर है. अब मैं एज्यूम कर रहा हूँ कि ये जो प्लेट में जो डिफरेंस है, दिस डिफरेंस इज एट क्वाइट इनफाइनाइट डिस्टेंस.
ये से मैं वही पूछ रहा था, मतलब एक्चुअल में तो डिस्टेंस कम ही है लेकिन हमने अज्यूम करा है कि
एज्यूम किया क्योंकि ये इनिशियली क्या होता है बेटा, ये जो ट्रांजिट स्टेट आती है ना, ये वाली ट्रांजिट स्टेट, ये बहुत जल्दी आती है, बहुत थोड़े टाइम के लिए आती है, उसके बाद तो सिस्टम एकदम ही स्टेडी स्टेट में आ जाता है. ठीक है. सो अभी जो हम वेलोसिटी एक्सप्रेशन जो भी निकालेंगे वो दैट अपीयर्स टू बी क्वाइट थोड़े टाइम के लिए, और इसी एक्सप्रेशन से यू विल कम अक्रॉस अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टर्म जो तुमने शायद पढ़ी होगी अपने उसमें फ्लूइड मैकेनिक्स में. इसको ये नाम देते हैं बाउंड्री लेयर.
यस सर.
वो ट्रांजिट स्टेट में ही बाउंड्री लेयर फॉर्म होती है. उस बाउंड्री लेयर के बाद वेलोसिटी स्टेशनरी हो जाती है.
यस सर. यस.
ठीक है, वही डिफाइन करेंगे. बाउंड्री लेयर ही इससे डिफाइन करेंगे, लेकिन फॉर द टाइमिंग अभी हम अज्यूम करते हैं कि जो अपर प्लेट है दैट इज एट अ क्वाइट फार अवे डिस्टेंस. ताकि यहाँ पे जो भी डिस्टर्बेंस हुई उसका इफेक्ट यहाँ तक पहुंचते पहुंचते बहुत टाइम लगेगा। ठीक है। नाउ in order to solve equation number 2, where the velocity is a function of t and the velocity is a function of the other variable y. Now such equations are solved using a method called method of combination of variables. Method of combination of variables. ठीक है। I don't know whether you have solved such technique in your maths in your mathematics or not, but this is the very most important method to solve, where a particular function is a function of two variables, x and like vx is a function of t as well as y. Now method of combination of variable, in this what we do is we're gonna introduce a dimensionless term which will convert equation 2 in that term. We're going to basically represent equation 2 in terms of dimensionless variable. Now that dimensionless term is called as phi, which is nothing but the ratio of vx to v, which is nothing but the ratio of vx to v. So equation number 2 can now be written as del phi by del t equal to mu del square phi by del y square. Equation number 2 जो कि velocity का expression था. Now I have represented that equation number 2 in terms of dimensionless equation, which is del phi by del t equal to mu del square phi by del y square, where phi is nothing but the ratio of vx to v. Now this we have done so that we are able to solve your equation number 2. Now similarly, once we represent equation 2 in terms of dimensionless, these conditions, they will also change. So the conditions, the boundary conditions and the initial conditions in terms of dimensionless, they can be written as phi y at 0 is 0, phi 0 for all t is 1, phi for all infinite t is 0. Now just look at these boundary and initial conditions. Are they understandable? देखो, phi for all values of y at t equal to 0 is 0. That is your initial condition. क्योंकि vx 0 है, vx 0 means phi is 0. So phi is 0 for all values of t, that is t less than 0. So phi was 0. That is the initial condition. Second boundary condition, when y is 0 and for all values of t, that is t greater than 0, this vx is equal to v. So what will be the ratio of phi? That is 1. And similarly, when y is infinite, for all values of t, vx is 0. That is this thing. So for this, what do you say, dimensionless equation, it has these boundary conditions and initial conditions. So what we have done, basically converted the equation in terms of dimensionless variable. Similarly, your boundary and initial conditions. Now, if we solve this dimensionless equation, what we will get? We will get phi, basically a function of y, t, and mu. Yes or no? We will get phi as a function of t, y, and mu. So that is what I have written. Now, since phi is a dimensionless term, and it's a function of y, t, and mu, so the appearance of y, t, and mu should also be in terms of dimensionless terms. I again repeat, since if you look at this equation, your phi is a function of t, your phi is a function of mu, and phi is a function of y. Also, phi is a dimensionless. So since phi is a function of these three variables and it's a dimensionless, So these three variables should appear in such a way that it should come out to be a dimensionless. So the combination of these three variables is basically this thing, that y over under root of mu t. This is the only dimensionless term which is appearing, where you have the combination of y, t and mu. It can be raised to power n, or it can be anything, but the combination of these three variables will be phi y upon mu t. Why? Because what is mu t? What is mu t? Mu is having the dimensionless L square t minus 1. T is t, so t cancels with the under root of L will be L, so L by L will be a dimensionless. Clear? So the combination of y, t and mu in a dimensionless expression can be your this thing, y upon under root of mu t. Now it can be raised to power n, it can be raised to power anything. It can be power, it can be multiples of this. So let's keep it simple, that these three variables, that is y, t and mu, in terms of dimensionless is nothing but y upon under root of mu t. Let's keep it simple. We're not taking anything like raised to power or anything. Let's keep it simple, that it's a combination of this. That is phi will be a function of this expression, that is y upon under root of mu t. It will be a dimensionless, but dimensionless means it will be purely a function of this dimensionless term, that is this. Now we're going to express this thing. Now for this, let's consider that y, every time we are not able to write y upon under root t mu t, let's give a symbol eta. So let's say phi is a function of eta, where eta is y upon under root of mu t. So our expression, हाँ जी बेटा.
सर y over under root of mu t था, वो तो खुद एक phi की सिंपल वैल्यू थी ना सर, फंक्शन कैसे लिख दिया हमने उसको?
नहीं, ये देख, इस इक्वेशन से क्या निकल रहा है? इस इक्वेशन से निकल रहा है phi is a function of t, it's a function of y and it will contain mu. Yes or no? ठीक है. अब ये डायमेंशनलेस है.
yes sir.
अगर लेफ्ट हैंड साइड डायमेंशनलेस है तो राइट हैंड साइड भी क्या होनी चाहिए? डायमेंशनलेस. अब ये तीन एक्सप्रेशंस आ रहे हैं, y, t और mu. इनका जो कॉम्बिनेशन मेरे को रिप्रेजेंट करना है वो ऐसा होना चाहिए कि वो डायमेंशनलेस हो. ठीक है. अब वो डायमेंशनलेस टर्म सिर्फ एक ही बनती है, दैट इज y अपॉन अंडर रूट ऑफ mu t.
हाँ, तो ये खुद ही फंक्शन हो गया ना, तो phi इक्वल टू y ओवर अंडर रूट mu t क्यों नहीं लिखा हमने? एज अ फंक्शन क्यों लिखा हमने इसको?
बेटा ये डायमेंशनलेस टर्म होगी.
यस सर. ठीक है.
अब दैट मींस ये जो phi जो फंक्शन था phi एज अ फंक्शन ऑफ y mu t, इसको मैं ये लिख सकता हूँ कि ये फंक्शन इस चीज का है.
अच्छा,
क्योंकि ये डायमेंशनलेस है ना. है
एग्जैक्ट फंक्शन नहीं है.
एग्जैक्ट फंक्शन नहीं है, लेकिन दिस इसका जो भी एक्सप्रेशन आएगा उसमें ये वाली टर्म आएगी.
ओके.
और ये टर्म कौन सी है? डायमेंशनलेस.
यस सर.
ठीक है ना. तभी लेफ्ट हैंड साइड डायमेंशनलेस विल बी इक्वल टू राइट हैंड साइड डायमेंशनलेस. अब वो देखते हैं क्या फंक्शन आएगा.
यस सर.
ठीक है. अब इसको सॉल्व करने के लिए एवरी टाइम आई कैन नॉट राइट y अपॉन mu t, लेट मी रिप्रेजेंट इट इन टर्म्स ऑफ eta. सो eta आ जाएगा, तो दैट विल बी इजी टू राइट. नाउ आई हैव रिटन दैट phi is a function of eta. ठीक है. सो नाउ you have this equation. Let's name this equation as equation A. Now equation A can be written as del phi by del t. If we look at this equation A, right hand side, del phi by del t, can it be written as del phi by del eta into del eta by del t, where eta is nothing but y upon under root of mu t. Now what will be the value of del eta by del t? करके देख लो, इसको डिफरेंशिएट करो विद रिस्पेक्ट टू t. It will come out to be
minus 2 that's 3d2 minus 3 by 2.
Eta upon t, it will come out to be this expression only. Okay, so del eta by del t can be written as del phi by del t can be written as minus half eta by t into del phi by del eta. So that is your let's say left hand side of equation A. Similarly, right hand side. Now right hand side of equation A, which is, if we look at del phi by del y first, del phi by del y can be written as del phi by del eta into del eta by del y. And what is eta with respect to y? That is 1 by okay, but just I made a correction over here, beta. Just make a small correction. Since we are taking this combination of yt and eta as y upon mu t, I'm putting a small number, a digital number over here. Let me write it as 4. Let me represent it as y upon 4 mu t. 4 डायमेंशनलेस है, कुछ भी नंबर डाल सकते हैं, 5 10. लेट मी राइट इट एज 4. वाई इसका सिग्निफिकेंस बाद में बताऊंगा मैंने 4 क्यों रखा है यहाँ पे. सो लेट्स ईटा टू बी रिप्रेजेंटेड एज 4 mu t, अंडर रूट ऑफ 4 mu t. सो जस्ट मेक अ करेक्शन, यहाँ पे ईटा इज y अपॉन अंडर रूट ऑफ mu t तो है ही है, यहाँ पे एक वेरिएबल 4 mu t, नथिंग एल्स. सो यहाँ पे भी 4 में कर देना, यहाँ पे भी 4 mu t. So what, when you have del eta by del y, it will be 1 upon under root of 4 mu t. So under root of 4 mu t into del phi by del eta. And if you again differentiate with respect to y, what will be del phi by del y square? It will be under root of 4 mu t into del phi by del eta into del eta by del y. So this comes out to be del square phi by del y square equal to 1 upon 4 mu t into del square phi by del eta square. So it comes out to be this thing. Now this is your right hand side of equation A. Now this will be again the right hand side of equation A. Now we have the left hand side, we have the right hand side. Let's put them in equation A. We have the left hand side of equation A, we have the right hand side of equation A. Substitute both the parameters in equation A. So when you substitute them in equation A, what we have is this equation, that is del square phi by del eta square plus 2 eta del phi by del eta equal to 0. So when you substitute your left hand side, हाँ
सर ऊपर करना था डेरिवेशन, जो डेरिवेटिव था सर,
ये ले. If you put left hand side over here, right hand side over here, so you will end up as this expression. Del square phi over del eta square plus 2 eta del phi by del eta equal to 0. हो गया?
yes sir.
And or we can also represent it as phi double dash plus 2 eta phi dash equal to 0. Or it can also be written as this thing, with the boundary condition that when eta is infinite, because y infinite है, eta infinite हो गया, and what will be the value of phi? 0. And when eta is 0, because y 0 है the lower plate, so phi is 1. So these are the boundary conditions. So we'll try to solve this double derivative using these boundary conditions. Let's name it as C and D. and this as equation number B. So how to solve this thing? इसको कैसे solve करोगे? Idea? Now what we do is phi dash को अगर हम psi लेते हैं तो इक्वेशन क्या बन गया? psi dash plus 2 eta psi equal to 0 और del psi by del eta plus 2 eta psi equal to 0 del psi by psi equal to minus 2 eta d eta इंटीग्रेट करते हैं तो दिस इज ln eta और ln psi equal to minus eta square plus c1, so which gives psi as c1 e raised to power minus eta square. So ये तो आ गया psi की वैल्यू. And what was psi equal to? Phi dash so d phi by d eta is c1 e minus eta square. इसको इंटीग्रेट करो integrate this thing. So upon integration, this becomes, can I write it as phi c1 0 to eta exponential of minus eta square d eta plus c2. Clear? ये आ गया expression. So phi का expression आ गया तुम्हारे पास. I'll write it your expression of phi again. Your phi expression comes out to be c1 0 to eta e minus eta square d eta plus c2. That's the expression of this thing. Now using boundary condition D, when phi is 1 and eta is 0, so what will be the expression of this when you integrate between 0 to 0? This will be 0?
Yes, sir.
Because you are integrating from 0 to eta, and when eta is 0 and phi is 1, eta is 0. So if you are integrating from 0 to 0, this expression is 0. So what is the value of C2? C2 comes out to be 1. So C2 comes out to be 1. So your expression is of phi now reduces to, that is over here we have now 1. Clear? Now using boundary condition C. Now using boundary condition C. Now if you use boundary condition C, when phi is 1, when eta is infinite and phi is 0, that means 0 equal to C1 0 to infinite exponential of minus eta square d eta plus 1. So what is the expression of C2? C2 comes out to be minus 1 upon 0 to infinite exponential of minus eta square d eta. So this expression, C1, right? C1. Now this expression, when integrated from 0 to infinite, according to mathematics rule hai, if you come across एक expression है mathematics का बड़ा famous, that is, I'll show it, 0 to infinite exponential of minus x square dx is nothing but pi upon 2. It's this thing. So if you compare this expression with this term, so it end up as pi upon 2, because it's a standard expression from 0 to infinite exponential of minus x square dx is under root of pi by 2. So this is similar to this. So what is the value of C1 from here? C1 comes out to be minus 2 upon under root of pi. So C1 is minus 2 under root of pi. So your final expression of phi. So C1 भी आ गया, C2 भी आ गया. So your final expression of phi is nothing but 1 minus 2 by under root of pi integration of 0 to infinite exponential of minus eta square d eta. So this is the expression. And in mathematics, you must have read what is this expression known as. ये वाला expression. This 2 by under root of pi 0 to infinity.
No,
नहीं पढ़ा. इसको कहते हैं error function. It's called as error function, and it is written as error of eta as 2 under root of pi 0 to infinite exponential of minus eta d eta. It is this thing. So phi is nothing but 1 minus error function of eta. Now what is eta? 1 minus error function of y upon under root of 4 mu t. Okay. So we'll continue tomorrow with the continue from here only. Currently, you just remember that this is your error function. So instead of writing this entire expression, we can write error of eta. Now, इसका क्या significance है of this expression? We'll continue tomorrow in the class.
Sir.
हाँ जी बेटा.
तो थोड़ा left में करना.
ये ले बेटा.
तो वो phi dash equal to phi equal to जो लिखा था आपने. उसके आगे से मेरा थोड़ा सा रह गया. और left में sir green.
ये वाला. This one?
Yes sir, yes sir.
I'll upload this video once this lecture is complete, beta.
Okay sir.
ठीक है. So we'll continue tomorrow from this particular part only. ठीक है. Any query?
No sir.